Essentia is a masternode powered blockchain that enables interoperability and cross-chain transactions. But the real reason that everyone is buzzing about Essentia right now is because you can earn up to 164% rewards through their masternode staking. So in this video, we'll take a look at what Essentia is, what it does, and most importantly, the requirements to set up and start running your own Essentia masternode. Hey everyone, and welcome. I'm Robert with Altcoin Buzz, and in today's video we're talking all about Essentia and masternode staking. So as excited as you are to get a part of those 164% APY rewards, I think it's always important to step back, understand what you're getting into, the merits of the project, its value proposition, things like that. So with that being started, the first thing I actually want to do is start off by talking about Essentia as a whole, and then towards the end of the video, we will talk about that masternode setup. So the first thing is going to Essentia's main page. And essentially what Essentia does is it's a masternode powered blockchain that enables interoperability and cross-chain transactions. So they like to think of themselves as an all-in-one platform that manages all things crypto. So with Essentia, users can trade, swap, and add liquidity all in one easy-to-use place. It's going to be integrated with Layer 2 transactions via ZK Snarks, SDK, and Starkware. Essentia is designed to be simple, secure, and decentralized. So Essentia is a blockchain that is bootstrappable from anywhere in the world from just a seed. For any consumer needing decentralized storage or crypto exchanges, organizations requiring smart contract capabilities, or developers simply wanting to build blockchain solutions, it's an efficient way to experience and utilize the new internet, where cryptography rules and data remains in the control of the user. So some of the services they offer: staking, borrowing, lending, farming. So those are just a few of the ways that Essentia can support the cryptocurrency ecosystem. But with that being said, let's scroll back up and talk about the part that everyone is here for, which is those sweet masternode rewards. So when we talk about masternodes on Essentia, there's really two separate types. Now, the type of node that most people are going to be running is the Mercury masternode. That's going to cost 100,000 ESSX tokens to get started. The Mars masternode costs about 300,000 ESSX tokens. However, there's also some additional stipulations, which means that the vast majority of people are going to be running the Mercury masternode. That being said, a masternode operator gets 25% of the total block reward, and a supernode gets 75% of the block reward. Now, if you're wondering how much you can make, that's always a valid question. So there's two ways of estimating that. The first, obviously, you can see here on an official tweet that they put out, the ESS masternodes are getting about 164% APY. Now, that is pretty high. That is very high. You can see some of the competitors: NRG 47%, Atom 23%, Tezos 6%, Tron 3%, and then EOS 1.74. So when we look at this, there is some very high APY with this. Not only this, but the requirement to get started running a masternode for Essentia is quite low, as I will show you here in a minute. So maybe I can try to add in a little comparison graph showing the minimum requirement to stake on Tezos, for example, and then compare that to Essentia. But as you'll see coming up, the Essentia masternode really, when you compare it to other cryptos, doesn't take a whole lot to get started. So one thing that I like to show is that on their website right here, they've got a calculator. Now, they call it a calculator. I like to say it's a way of estimating what you can make, because with crypto, with any kind of investment really, things go up, things go down, price changes. So I like to view this more as a way of estimating your returns. And your returns are really a function of how many Mercury masternodes you're running. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just going to run one masternode, and how often you keep it running. So obviously, running it for a year versus running it for a month is going to have the possibility for higher returns. And then the other function, the other variable here, is the cost of your VPS. So obviously, the more you're paying for your VPS, you are not going to be making as much money, whereas the lower you can get that, obviously, the more profit that you have the potential to make. So with that being said, you've seen those rewards, you've seen how profitable it has the potential to be. So with that being said, you're probably wanting to just jump in and get started. Now, the way that you do that is by going to set up a full node, and you simply download and install their software package. So simply download it to Windows, Mac, Linux, whatever operating system you're on. Go ahead, open your downloads folder, and install it. Alrighty, so when we open up Essentia for the first time, you can see I've kind of been playing around with this already a little bit. We have two options. We can either create a new account or import our account. It's very simple. I'll just create a new one here just so you all can see. And we're going to have to enter a name and a password. So we'll call this ESSENTIA demo. We're just going to make a very simple password. Alright, then once we got our password, we simply click create. And we can see starting off that we've really got two things in our wallet. We've got Essentia, we've got Ethereum, and then if we drop down, we see that we have another version of Essentia. And that's a key point I want to make. Within Essentia, there's really two forms of their token. There is the ESS token, which is ERC20 running on the Ethereum blockchain. There is ESSX token, which is not an ERC20, that's running on their own blockchain. So I just had to back out and then I had to click on wallet and then it brought up some additional options here. So what we can see, we've got token swap, send, receive, and masternode. When we click on masternode, it says we need 100,000 ESS tokens for the masternode plus the server timeline fees. Obviously we have none of that in our wallet, so we need to get some ESSX. However, here's the thing. You first have to get ESS. So you've got to get their ERC20 token, you then send that to the wallet and you convert it into that ESSX. So at some point they are going to be launching the ESS token on KuCoin. However, for right now, at the time that I'm making this video, they do not currently have it listed. So that's something to look forward to. At some point in the future, you will be able to get it there. However, for now, really your best bet, as far as I know, is to get it off of Uniswap. So we're simply going to trade ETH for ESS, and as you can see here, it's going to cost us about 0.17 ETH to go into ESS. So ESS is about 100,000 I'm looking at. I'm going to click swap. That's obviously going to go directly to my MetaMask wallet. So once that transaction goes through, obviously I'll have to pay the Ethereum gas fee, but those tokens will be sitting in my MetaMask wallet. Now, to get those tokens into my Essentia wallet, I can go to the ERC20 version here. I can click receive and then I can simply do a transfer sending those tokens from my MetaMask to this address. Or another option that I have is importing an Ethereum wallet. So if I didn't want to pay that huge transaction fee, I could also just import it. That way I'm not having to send them from my MetaMask to another wallet. I could simply import it directly within Essentia wallet as well. So whatever the case may be, once I've got those ESS tokens, I need to first convert them into ESSX before I can set up my masternode. Now to do that, it's really simple. I just go to token swap and I enter the amount to swap. So I would click the max balance that I had in my wallet. Now, obviously I have nothing, but let's suppose that I have that 100,000 and it's going to do a 1-for-1 swap, giving me those ESSX tokens. Now, obviously Ethereum gas fees are absolutely ridiculous at this point. So even to do a medium normal speed transaction, it's going to cost us about $54, which is the reason why I'm not actually going through with this. So if you do want to go through it, if you do want to set up, just be in mind you're going to have to pay gas fees several times. You're going to have to pay gas for the Uniswap transfer. You're going to have to spend gas fees for the ESS to ESSX. And then depending on whether you send from MetaMask to here or you simply import, you may have to pay a gas fee there as well. So something to keep in mind. Make sure you take that into account as well, just so it doesn't take you by surprise. So with that being said, we're going to X out of that. We've gone through, we've done our token swap, we've done our transfer. Now what we can do is we can actually set up that masternode. So we're going to go back to the ESSX tab. We're going to click on masternode. Let's suppose we have those tokens. We're going to deploy a masternode. Now we've got to enter a name, test node, and it says in order to deploy the name, we need 100,000 ESSX tokens for the masternode plus server timeline fees. So let's suppose we want to run our masternode for 365 days. We simply want to run it for 1 year. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to pay them 130,427 ESSX. So that server price is built directly into the price that we're paying. So we set up a masternode. From there, it's pretty much an automated process. I'll go through, I'll add some screenshots from the official documentation to show you how the rest of the steps for that process would work. So once we initiate that, we will see that we are on the in progress step, and if we wait here, we'll see that we also have a little drop down menu that we can click on, and that drop down menu will show us what specific step we're in. Now, depending on the network congestion, this could take anywhere from 20 minutes to about 2 hours depending on the network, and then once everything is set up and ready to go, we will see that our masternode is finally active. So remember when I was telling you how all of those Ethereum gas fees are going to eat you alive? Well, actually Essentia realizes that, and they are doing what they can to help you out. So for right now, they're kind of having a special promotion as well as two things that can help you out. The first one is that they will be refunding your gas fees that you use to convert from ESS to ESSX. So to do that, there's a link here, and I'll make sure to put this in the description so you all can follow it. But it's simply a Google Docs form where you can fill out a request refund for that ERC20 to ESSX token swap. So in order to do that, you can fill out these forms. You can actually collect both a refund on the gas fee for that ERC20 to ESSX coin swap, as well as the masternode server hosting fee. So they're going to cover you on that gas to trade from ESS to ESSX, and they're also going to refund you for that server fee. So that's pretty cool. That's just a way of them trying to help people out, help them get started with this masternode reward system. So in addition to this tutorial, there's actually an official guide on their Medium page that shows you how to go through step by step everything you need to know about getting that masternode set up. Now, personally for me, I found this to be very easy, but if you want this article, if you want this reference, I'll be sure to link it for you so that you can check it out yourself. So it just tells you a little bit about some of the features, the advantages. Obviously, we already talked about the highest APY in the industry, 164% for a Mercury node, and only 100,000 ESS required. So with one click, you can auto deploy, set up this node in just a few matter of seconds, and it's a way of effortlessly earning that passive income. So one thing I like to point out is that Essentia is not just a layer 2 solution. It's not a parallel chain. It's not a side chain. It's its own fully functioning blockchain. And with that, it does have its own block explorer. So I'm simply here on blockexplorer.essentia.one. And we can just click on a random block. So this random block here, the latest one, is 710372. We're just going to click on that. We can see that there's been 3 transactions that are included in this block. We could take a little bit look at them. We could dive in a little bit deeper if we wanted to do that. Alrighty, so with that being said, there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about, specifically the ESS token. So we've talked about Essentia as an overarching structure, what it intends to do. We've talked about that masternodes and those 164% APY, that passive income generation. But what I want to do now is look specifically at the ESS token, which a lot of people are looking at and they're saying, hey, this is a really low cap token. It's maybe something that some people want to get involved in. So I kind of want to explain the utility, the tokenomics of this, so you can decide if it's something that you might be interested in. So the ESS token has 3 key things that it's trying to do. First, masternodes and resource allocation. We talked about that with the ESS converting to ESSX so that we can do that masternode, get that passive income, that APY. Additionally, anti-spam, anti-abuse security, compensation for internal and external services or resources. So the Essentia token is an ERC20 based token which operates on the Ethereum network. They can be stored on multiple wallets, including the in-house Essentia wallet, which I showed you all in that portion of the video. So Essentia is using this ESS token for account monetization, and this plays a role in preventing the network from being swamped by bots or users who have no intention of using Essentia for its designated purposes. So you can create up to 3 accounts free of charge. However, you can use the ESS token to create additional tokens. For convenience, the purchasing process is facilitated directly from the Essentia application in the wallet. ESS is also the unit of exchange that enables users to access and maintain various components, features, and services. It can be used to pay for a wide additional range of services or resources that exceed the limits provided that you're granted by default. So Essentia provides an all-in-one user-friendly interface incorporating multiple distributed ledger assets and data storage, including Swarm, Store, and IPFS. So users of the platform can access these services by the use of those ESS tokens, for example, buying additional storage space accounts. So the ESS token, not only is it for converting to ESSX using that staking, but you can also use it to buy additional decentralized storage Obviously, almost every utility token or governance token now is moving to some form of decentralized voting, which is exactly the same here with ESS. With ESS tokens, users can vote for the next services or resources to be integrated by the Essentia engineers. This means that Essentia is constantly evolving, ensuring that it can adapt to the latest technology and shifting demands of the users. The masternodes, obviously we talked about that, very important, incredible potential there as far as like we looked at, right? There's 164% APY, that passive income. So altogether, you've got really 3 to 4 kind of key components. You've got the ESS being used for additional data storage. You've got it for the masternodes. You've got it for that ability to vote on proposals, what people want to see being incorporated next into Essentia. So with that being said, I just wanted to jump into a little bit of a discussion about Essentia being a low market cap coin. Now, some people like Bitcoin and Ethereum, they want to invest with the big coins, right? They think it's more safe, it's more secure, and that's fine. Other people, they're looking for those low cap coins, those kind of hidden gems, if you will. So for those people, a coin with a low market cap can actually be something that's enticing to them because they see a huge upward potential for growth. Now, obviously, absolutely nothing that I tell you should be considered in any way as financial advice. That being said, Essentia currently right now is sitting at a market cap of about let's round it up and say $3.6 million. So if you're looking at this and you say that's not a large market cap at all, and then you think of the room to grow it has, the potential for appreciation, that might convince you that it's something that you want to look at, something that you want to do your own research on and determine if it might be right for you. Again, not financial advice, but for people that are looking for a low market cap coin, Essentia might be something that you want to look at. Obviously, it's important to do your own research and make your own decisions because the responsibility for that is completely yours. One more option, and I know it's not really the focus of this video, but it's something I still wanted to touch on. If you can't afford those 100,000 ESS to begin the masternode process, you can actually earn a little bit through staking as well. Now with staking, it's a minimum of 10,000 coins, so you can estimate how long you want to stake for, and this calculator will hopefully give us an estimate of how much that could be. So with staking, we might not necessarily earn as much as with the masternodes. However, depending on, again, everything is subject to change, everything's subject to market pressures, but based on this calculator, based on this estimate, we can see that even by staking, we're looking at an annual APY of about 37%. So that's kind of a general overview of Essentia. So in summary, I wanted to finish out this video by saying that Essentia is a masternode powered blockchain. It's focused on enabling interoperability and those cross-chain transactions. It wants to bring a bunch of disparate areas all together and make things easier, simpler to manage. Not only that, but it offers the masternodes feature, which, depending on how you set it up, depending on the market circumstances, can be an opportunity for earning that passive income through that masternode staking. So in general, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got something out of it. As always, I'd like to thank you for watching. If there's any other topics that you want us to take a look at, specifically within the Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, anything really related to that, anything DeFi related, that's kind of where I try to focus for my tutorials. So if you're interested in anything like that, be sure to leave a comment down below so we can check it out. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.